Hello folks, good morning. It is July 30th and we are getting ready to go to Michigan. But when we were at the eclipse back in April, we noticed that the solar panels were not charging. I mean, I have 700 watts of solar panel up here and they were not charging the batteries. Now I had plenty of battery to last me for the time I needed them. And if you're not aware, I usually alternate between boondocking and hookups, so we didn't have to worry about it. But I've been kind of working on figuring out what the hell's going on and testing the wires and testing the connections and all that. And we finally found out that one of them isn't producing what it should. And we'll go over that in a minute. So now we're going to get up there and try to fix it. So it's very hard to do videos of the trailer in my yard because A, it's either in full sunlight, extremely shadowed sunlight, or it's raining like it is now. And right now I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my solar panels because I'm not getting reasonable power out of them. I will admit they are extremely dirty, but they should still be producing. And I had to disconnect. They were in series, 3 solar panels in series, and I had to disconnect them and just run off one because I was getting no power. And I got to figure out if that's a problem with a connection that I have built these connections, and maybe they're not as good as I think they are, or maybe it's a problem with the panel, and we're gonna see if we can find out. But anyways, we're coming up on the roof. Not a place I love to be, but we gotta figure out how to do this. So here we come. Oh dear. Note to self. Always have the stabilizers down if you're on the top of the trailer, because it rocks a lot on just the wheels. So much for putting on new springs. I'll be right back. I gotta put down the stabilizers. I don't like heights to begin with. When it rocks and rolls when I move around, I don't like it. Now, since it is cloudy and kind of sprinkling a little bit, we'll wash off the panel because this just isn't good solar connectivity here. God, how dirty. They do have spots of pine tar on them, which isn't going to come off easily. Of course, I don't want to hurt the panel. Whew. That's the second time cleaning. And I think the real problem with these is that they're flat. And that allows water to accumulate on them, and they're growing algae on the panels. So I'm going to make a attachment so they bend up a little bit. A lot better. One more pass. And you can see a couple of spots where there's pine tar from pine trees. So I think we'll finish cleaning these up and then we'll do some of the analysis. So I made these. This is just a short piece of solar wire, and they've got alligator clips on the ends so that I can plug them in and then use my really cheap Harbor Freight analyzer to see what kind of voltage and stuff is coming off of these. It's really hard to go directly into these plugs. I mean, they're quite a bit in there. So this is good. I've got them marked, which one's plus and which one's minus or negative. So we'll plug these in. So even in crummy light, this front panel is producing 16, 17 volts. So that's enough to kick the charge controller on to get charging the battery. That panel's working good, all cleaned up. Now the other panels are attached to the side of the air conditioner, so I will hook those up to the meter and see what we get from that. Turn the meter off. Okay, so we're getting 40 volts off of that. So these all should be working just fine. I think I'm going to hook these back up in serial and see how it works. We've got all three of them hooked up in series, and we're getting 57.5 volts. So that should be what's going down to the controller. So we'll disconnect these from here, and we should be charging the battery. So that should be working just fine. I don't know what the problem is here. Alright, so I have the panels. This one goes to that one, goes to this one, goes back to this one, and goes down the rabbit hole to the controller. So at the controller, I should get that 57.7 voltage at the controller. So let's go down and check that and see if it's getting down through the gland on the roof and all the wiring we did in the wall. Alright, so let's see what we're getting out of here. It says 13.6. Why is it 13.6? The sun came out. Why aren't we getting 57? Maybe that's because of the battery's connected. There we got 52. There we go. 52 off the solar panels. Now we got full thing, but it's oscillating up and down. There must be something wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. The controller console here, it gives us pretty good readings. You can see the solar panels are turned off. It's on the moon. But it's, you know, giving us 13.6 on the battery. So we went back up on the roof and tested these individual solar panels, and what we got on the one solar panel closest in this picture was pretty sad. It was showing 16.3 in full sun by this time. We had really good sunshine. So I had good connections. Everything seemed to be good. It did fluctuate a bit. It went from the sun, there were no clouds, there was nothing changes, but it did go from one reading to another. So I made this little video of the testing of the panels and what happens if you shake the wire or move the wire at all. And I sent this to Renogy because that's what's on their website, how to troubleshoot your panel and stuff. And you can see it loses contact and it's going all over the place, 14, 13, 12. So I called Renogy and they said they'd send me a new panel. Now, since this is really a warranty job, I just got the new panel in. and I gotta take it out of the box carefully because I gotta put the old one in the box and send it back to him. I'm gonna save all the packing, and that's one of the issues I had with them. Is that they wanted me to send the old one back before I got the new one, and that kind of caused a mix-up because obviously this is a great big solar panel. I don't have a box that this will go in. It can't fit in an envelope or something. So I said, send me the new one and I'll send you the old one. I sent them a video of what's wrong with the old one and how it doesn't work, and they said they were okay with that. So a month and a half later, I call them and I say, where's my panel? And they said, you should have it by now. And I said, where'd you send it? And they told me Arizona someplace. I said, I don't live in Arizona. Check the address. And the guy said, oh, I don't know why it went to Arizona. But anyways, they sent me another one. But it was kind of, there were a lot of issues with this warranty claim with Renogy. It wasn't as clean and easy as I thought. And I mean, they sent me these to review and test and play with and do videos on. So I don't know, maybe that had some issue with it. Maybe if you paid for them and you had a bill of sale or receipt or something, it would be a lot easier. But it did take, I called them on June 11th to say that my panels were not coming to the specifications they detailed, and they made a case out for me for warranty and everything, and I was supposed to get panels within a couple of weeks, and here it is. It's July 30th, so it's 2 months. It's 2 months before these actually get to me. So not really a good, happy camper. I've got a week to get the trailer in all set up and working so that I can take my next trip. They do pack it up really nice. Brand new bifacial Renogy solar panels. And I think we'll just slide the old one into that box. And this is why it's easier to mount them this way than directly on the roof with those little clips they give you. Take it off, put the new one right back on. So, that's nice and easy. Keela, catch this. We did test the new one before we put it up on the roof and make sure it was good and giving us good power. Because it was cloudy and everything, it wasn't up to snuff, but it was up to 20 volts, so that's all we really needed. And we did put the riv nuts in. We brought it up, marked the holes, took it back down, drilled it out, and put the riv nuts in it. If you want to see that, you have to go back to the original install video. I haven't cut the wires yet, so... Says we're at 72%. We've been running the trailer without solar panels for the last couple weeks. Try to run the battery down. It takes forever with just lights and fans and stuff running. And we're doing this outside in the shade because inside the trailer I'm sure is about 100 degrees. 72, we got minus 1.4 amps running with the fans and the stuff. So let's go inside and hook the solar panels back up and see what we're getting off them. Alright, let's see what it says when we hook it up to the panels. 56 volts coming from the panels. That's good. 54, 58. So it should be 19 times 3 is 57, so that's pretty good. We'll take that with a little loss. Now, this is seeing minus 3 amps of current. So let's hook up the solar panels. Now we got 4 amps of current going in, plus the minus 3. So we're getting roughly 7. Well, there you go. We got more. There we go. The sun's coming back out. Alright. The controller's working. So we got 25 amps from those solar panels going in. So I think we fixed the solar panels. We got them in serial. They're going from one panel to the next panel to the next panel and back down to the controller. So we're getting 26 amps out of the controller at 3 o'clock, August 1st. Actually, it's August 2nd. So that's not bad. So if we could get 26 plus 3, so we're actually, the 3 that were in use, the 3 that it was taken out, so we got really nearly 30 amps of power coming in. So that's worthwhile. So it looks like we've got our solar problem fixed. Not a big deal to pull the panel off and put it back on. New panel, you do have to drill the holes for the riv nuts and mount them in, which because my mounts are just kind of thrown up there, they're not something you can just measure onto the panel and put the panel up there, which is a nice thing because I actually moved the panel down away from the air conditioner a little more. So really this is I got a better mount setup, and I'm going to put some lifters on those mounts so they tilt a little more so the water runs off them and they don't get so much algae growing on them. But we've got a good deal of solar energy coming into the battery. I think, truthfully, this battery will be fully charged in about an hour and a half at 30 amps going into it. But I think I'm going to be working in the trailer. I'm going to actually plug it in so I have air conditioning. It's not too bad in here. You know, it's 87 degrees outside with about, I think it's 75-80% humidity, so it's pretty muggy and ugly if you're in the sun. Akila doesn't like being in the sun. So we're going to turn the air conditioning on in here and get the trailer ready for our trip. When you see this video, I'll probably be on the trip. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if do-it-yourself repairs and fixes are good for you. And if not, subscribe and watch the trip videos and the things that are coming up. We got a lot of good things. And you better subscribe if you want to see what a grandchild of mine looks like. My son was my clone. He looked just like me for the longest time. Now he's got a beard and he's going bald, so he doesn't look quite as much like me. But he's still a pretty handsome young man. And if you want to see what my grandchildren look like, you better subscribe. And if you're subscribed and you're getting notifications, why are there only 1,000 views on my on my videos when there's 12,000 subscribers? I don't understand that. Get all those subscribers up there and watch it. All right, folks. You have a great weekend. Keep smiling. Everything's funny if you just look at it the right way. We'll see you on the road. Bye-bye.